I'd like to welcome all of you here today, and I know that we're going to have a really good program, and we've added some things to the program this year. Due to some glitches with a presentation of our Pomona annual Grange Public Service Award in June this year, the award will be presented prior to the Hall of Fame and Ag Industry Awards today. Also, last year we began presenting a Quilt of Valor to an individual that was involved with the fair. And as you can see from the program, we're going to do that again this year. As with many organizations now, the membership numbers as well as the total number of Granges has been on a decline for many years. The Grange is particularly lacking with young people to carry on the organization and the knowledge and understanding of the Hall of Fame and Ag Industry Program and Awards. Following last year's selection process, we discussed the continuance of the awards program with several suggestions of young people interested in agriculture to ensure that the awards program is continued. It's my pleasure to introduce to you Leanne Kapanik and Ellie Klink, who are learning to the ropes of the program and assist with its continuance. And Leanne told me today, you didn't tell me that we were learning the ropes to take over for you. See, she says, and people say, well, that's what she does. Not really true. Both young ladies bring knowledge and a passion for agriculture to the program. I know that all of you will help in guiding and cooperating with them for the continuance of this program. Pomona Grange will continue to be involved and assist with this program. We were just in need of some young blood to lend a hand, and I know that many of you understand that if you belong to any organization. Now for the history of the awards. The awards were instituted by the Crawford County Council of Farm Organizations in 1981, making this the 38th annual presentation. The Hall of Fame Award was to be presented to a farmer in recognition of achievements in his or her own farming operation and service to the community and in various county farm organizations. The Ag Industry Award was to be presented to a related industry for outstanding service to Crawford County agriculture. The awards continued under the auspice of the the Council until it disbanded in 98, I'm sorry, 10 years earlier here. Crawford County Pomona Grange was asked to administer the awards beginning in 1999, coordinating the program and presentation of the awards. All former recipients of both the Hall of Fame and Ag Industry Awards, as well as the sponsoring agricultural organizations, submit nominations for the awards, and the cost is borne by those same organizations and some of the previous recipients. A selection night is held open to all of these same individuals and organizations. The selections are made and the individuals and businesses are then notified. In 2005, we began presenting 2 Hall of Fame awards. Nominees include those who have retired from farming, are currently involved in farming, or from the service industry or organization. The criteria for the Ag Industry Award remains the same as when it originally began. Thank you to all of the sponsoring organizations and individuals, and I won't read them because they are printed on the back of your program, so be sure and thank them for their sponsorship of this award, these awards. And now I'm going to turn it over to Ellie.
It is my pleasure to introduce the Crawford County Fair Queen and the Dairy Maids, if they could please come and join me on the stage.
Hello, my name is Cecile, and I am a Dairy Miss.
Hello, my name is Sydney and I'm a Dairy Miss.
Hello, I'm Jade Wilson, the Crawford County Fair Queen, and I'd like to invite you to the pageant tonight at 7:30. I'm happy to introduce Ms. Arvilla Allen, Pomona Lecturer, for the presentation of the Pomona Public Service Award.
Good afternoon. The Pomona Grange Public Service Award is given to an organization or individual in Crawford County who has provided service to the community. This year's award is given to Armstrong Cable for their support of 2 programs directly sponsored by Pomona Grange. For several years, they have taped and ran over the cable candidates forums held prior to the elections. Since 2012, the Hall of Fame Ag Industry Awards have been presented at the fair, and Armstrong has taped the program to be run on the cable. Armstrong has been very involved with the fair, providing numerous services through the years, and some of these include: before the internet was on the fairgrounds, they provided service in the fair office and backstage at no charge, provided free Wi-Fi at the fairgrounds, and upgraded all the base stations for the internet and increased the power. Added service to the livestock complex, youth show arena, horse building, 2 home show buildings, and this year the new technology center. Provided internet and scanning for the ticketing system at the grandstand. Hardwired at the entrance gates in order to scan tickets. Sponsored the safety vests for parking attendants, and currently working on a new phone system. So it is my privilege to present Patrick Gladys, General Manager of Armstrong Cable, with a Public Service Award.
It is my privilege to introduce Colleen Munn, who will present the Quilt of Valor Award.
Good afternoon. As she said, I am Colleen Munn. I'm with PA Stitchers of Valor, the local chapter of Quilts of Valor Foundation. Quilts of Valor was started in 2003 by a grassroots quilter by the name of Catherine Roberts when her son was deployed to Iraq. She saw the quilts as a way of healing to those veterans that are battering the demons of war on a daily basis sometimes, or their health issues that they might have incurred. PA Stitchers of Valor, it started last year in April. We joined the foundation last year in April. We're local, like I said, local chapter. The other local chapters are Erie, Pittsburgh, and State College, so there's a big hole in this area. We're trying to fill it a little bit at a time. Since our present starting in last year, we have presented 76 quilts to local veterans. Thank you for the fair for having us. Thank you, Susan Taw, for inviting us to, again here today. What is a Quilt of Valor? A Quilt of Valor is not a charity quilt, is not a blanket. It is presented to veterans that have been touched by war. Sorry, I have to go to the cheaters. The top of the quilt, I'm going to have Kathy Winters help me with this as a demonstration. She's my Vanna. The top of the quilt, as you see, has many colors, shapes, sizes, and pieces that come together to make the top. That represents the communities, the families, and the friends all around coming together to support our veterans. The batting is the filler or the warmth of the quilt. It represents the hope. The quilt will bring comfort, peace, and healing to the veteran receiving it. The backing of the quilt is the strength of the quilt. It represents the strength of the recipient, the support of family, friends, and community. The quilting, which is hard to see on this one, and I have been teasing that I'm going to have to do it in lemon yellow or lime green or something so you can see it better. But it holds all 3 layers together, and it represents each stitch. The holds the quilts together represents love, gratitude, and sometimes the tears of those of us that may have made them. Quilts of Valor, the PA Stitchers meets once a month as a group for Sew Day, and we put these quilts together. And there's a lot of times when we discuss family members that are currently serving or have served, that that's when the tears come. Also sometimes when we're presenting the quilts tears come also. Each quilt is presented. It is not given like a book, a magazine, but with a hug. On each end of the quilt will be a family member and one of us. Today's recipient is Joel M. Hunter. Joel, if you'd like to come forward. And bring your wife. Joel is a U.S. Navy veteran to Penn State Extension Agronomy, educator, field and forage corps. He was a United States Navy active 1974 to 1978 and active reserves from 1978 to 1980. He signed up in Buffalo, New York, met his wife at the recruiter's office in Warren, PA, and was honorably discharged in Philadelphia, PA. Boot Camp, Special Company 922, Recruit Chief Petty Officer, San Diego, California. Hospital Corpsman, A school graduate, ranked second in class, San Diego, California. Intention was to also complete Pharmacy C school, but that didn't happen, never got the chance. Transferred back to East Coast to join the Atlantic Fleet using aboard the USS Seattle AOE, one of 4, 2 of each, on each coast. Ammunition, oiler, and supply type vessel, nearly the size of an aircraft carrier, but with a crew of about 500 instead of 5,000 for an aircraft carrier. In the 26 months assignment to Seattle, he did multiple 6-month Mediterranean cruises. On the first in 1975, he was lowered by helicopter to the deck of a sea-going tug, bringing the USS Belknap guided missile cruiser back to the United States. After its collision with the aircraft carrier, the USS John F. Kennedy, resulting in 8 fatalities. Another cruise, they were on at sea for 57 days straight, during which he literally decided to go into agriculture, sink my feet into terra firma after the Navy. His deployments also included some 6-week Caribbean cruises and at least 1 North Atlantic cruise. For the last 16 months of active duty, he was stationed on the USS Gilmore, a submarine tender stationed in Sardinia, Italy. I'm not sure if I said that right.
Yes, you did.
Okay. This ship was originally a hospital ship with wooden decks and bed racks 4 high, supposed to be limited to 3 high according to current regulations. The ship was barely seaworthy, but it did occasionally go out for short R&R, rest and relaxation cruises in the Mediterranean Sea. He was proud to serve. After his discharge and a couple stints in residential and commercial construction, he attended the Penn State Mount Alto campus for 2 years before moving to Penn State main campus for both the bachelor and master's degree in agronomy. While raising a family of 5, 3 girls and 2 boys, he lived on dairy farms while he was pursuing his degrees. After graduation, he worked about 10 years in the industry, primarily agronomic crop and seed population in southeast Pennsylvania before the Pennsylvania Extension in January of 1995 as agronomy educator and county extension director for the first 10 years. No regrets. This is Joel M. Hunter of the United States Navy, retired. Oh, this is his quilt. You can see it behind you.
Mm-hmm.
You can have a seat, Mom. We're not done yet. Like I said a little bit ago, their quilts are not presented like a book or magazine, but given with a hug. The reason for this is, if you want to present it, the reason before this is so that when you are feeling alone, the battling demons of war, or just having a bad day, you again wrap this quilt around yourself and feel the hug as you feel it right now from those presenting the quilt. And remember, you're not alone. You have the love, support, and gratitude of all of us, family, friends, quilters, community, and country. With each quilt, comes a certificate and a presentation case. The certificate says, "The Quilts of Valor Foundation wishes to recognize you for your service to our nation. We consider it a privilege to honor you. Though we may never know the extent of your sacrifice and service to protect and defend the United States of America, as an expression of our gratitude, we award you this quilt." As of today, the story of this quilt is yours. We hope that you keep this quilt with you as a tangible reminder that there are thousands of men and women across the country that are forever in your debt. Again, it has been our honor to be here today and to present you with a quilt of honor. Thank you again for having us, and thank you, Grange.
Do I get to say something? I have no idea how I ended up here for that. But I'm proud of my service, of course. I'm proud to serve, and I'm very proud of this recognition for my service, unbelievably so. This goes to the great nation. My father was a member, almost 45 months in the Pacific, including Iwo Jima, in the Marines as an enlisted man. Two of my 4 brothers were also enlisted, and I share it with them and all the other veterans. Thank you for your service.
Can we have just one more round of applause for Mr. Hunter and all of the servicemen and women who are present today? Thank you so much. It is now my distinct honor to introduce Charles Mowry, who will be delivering the Ag Industry Award.
Good afternoon. To begin with, I'll tell you, I'm not going to speak that long. So you're closer to the cookies and stuff than you think. No, I'm not going to say. I am honored to give this award to Todd and his family and their business. I saw what was written in the bulletin, and I thought to myself, wow, that's what I was going to say. So that we'll just nip it in the bud, and I kind of come up with a few things that I thought were important. Number one is Todd is the son of Frank and Pat Shear, who moved here from Michigan, and in the 1970, I believe it was, and that's how I got to know him and know the family. They bought the farm next to us, 500 acres, I think it was, and they started to raise hogs and cattle, and I got to know the boys really good through that period. There might be one thing I don't want to forget. Todd has a wife, Jackie, and behind every good man there is a good woman. And trust me, she runs everything in that office, the business. He looks good up here. But Jackie, God bless you. And they just have a wonderful business and do a great job. I guess he asked me, I said, well, why did you want me to come? And he said, don't you remember? I graduated from school and I bought a semi truck and I made it into a lime truck. And you were the first load that I sold. I said, sure, I remember that. 40 years ago. I don't know why I thought I was going to forget, but I didn't. So anyhow, that was kind of his start, and then we became very good friends, and his family and all of his children. They work at the business that they had, and I don't know, I guess I couldn't be any more prouder to give this award out to him today. So for the Ag Industrial Award, is that correct? TR Shear Ag, come on, I'd like to present this to Todd.
Susan, did you say I had 20 minutes to talk? Or no, I won't take that long. I do have a long list of customers I would like to thank. I wish I had time to thank them all, really, but I can't. I mean, they're one of the reasons we're here. But first and foremost, I want to thank our Lord and Savior for being here. Without him and without my wife, Jackie, which I'd like to honor, I wouldn't be here today. I'll tell you that right now. I remember a long time ago, I was kind of reminiscing a little bit. I remember a long time ago when we first got started, and I remember Jackie delivering seed corn with our little kids under tote. And while I was out driving a lime truck that had no power steering, that's how we got started. She actually had customers that told me, said, as long as you send your wife to deliver seed corn, I will buy seed off you. I do want to thank the rest of my family, Terry, Tyler, and Tiffany, especially. They work right beside me. We all, as a family, we do whatever it takes to be done. And I know your operations are the same way, but that's what we do. We do whatever it takes to get it done. I want to thank my mom and dad. My mom was actually fitting my ground while my dad was planting my ground so I could come and serve my customers back when I was getting started until today. I have a couple other things I want to make sure I don't miss. I know I'm a little long-winded. Sometimes I've been tough to work with. You can ask some of my employees, which I want to thank my employees because they have a commitment to take care of the customers, get whatever it is done. I mean, I'll have guys that will stay till 11 o'clock at night if that's what it takes to be ready for the next day to have fertilizer ready to go. And you don't find that in very many people. But Harry S. Truman, he said it well, and it kind of fits me a little bit, I guess, is I never gave them hell, I just told them the truth, and they thought it was hell. Most of all, I guess I want to thank the Pomona Lodge for what they're continuing to do and to support our industry. It's a great thing you're doing. Eleanor Kalinowski, who I don't know if she's out here or not, she's the one that nominated us. There she is. Hi, Eleanor. Thank you very much. The other thing, I do want to challenge everybody. In this day and age, you need to talk about your industry and the good things about your industry. We need to get out and tell the public. There's a lot of stories out there. You need to tell your story. And it's not that hard. You don't have to be a public speaker to tell your story. You can be in the grocery store and just butt up to somebody, connect with them, start a conversation, and tell your story about agriculture, because we still have the greatest industry in this nation. And that, I'd like to thank everybody. I'm totally honored to accept this. Thank you.
We'd like to congratulate Todd and his family for earning this prestigious award. And I'd also like to thank you for just your deep commitment to agriculture, whether it's on your own farm, whether it's helping other farmers harvest their crops or providing equipment to them or spraying. They touch about every aspect of agriculture and farming. And without families like this and their dedication, we couldn't do what we do in agriculture. So thank you, congratulations, and God bless.
For those who don't know me, my name is Ted Nesbitt. I'm the state representative in Eastern Mercer County. And so on behalf of myself and the other Park Wentling, Lee James, and Brad Roy, we have a citation to present Todd and his family and to congratulate him for his continued success. He's very active in the community. He's a great constituent. You know, he educates me on a lot of the issues that I know are important to you. And I would just say congratulations and keep up the good work, and thank you for having us. So,
I guess I got one more thing to say. Maybe I should retire now.
And if I could please have all of the past recipients of the Ag Industry Awards stand for recognition, please.
It is now my honor to introduce Chester Todd to introduce the Hall of Fame Award.
Thank you, Ellie. My sister told me I had to speak into the mic, and she says I don't have much time because I've got cookies out here that flies are getting into. So I could tell you a lot of stories about this lady, but again, time won't permit. Known her a long time. If you look at your program, you notice that in 1992, her sister Edith was also recognized for this award, and so you tell that the family come from a long line of hard workers, and they've taught their children well too. And I'm not going to read her whole bio here, but I'm going to let Margaret talk about her family, and her girls have done well. They've taught them well, taught them how to work hard. And if you were here for the service this morning, you got to hear Walter's message about raising a family and working hard and 4-H, and Margaret's done well, and along with her husband Milo. So, Margaret, congratulations.
First of all, I'd like to introduce my family. If my daughters and their families would stand up. There's Paula Lucas, her husband Bob, and their children Austin and Tyler. Jill and Jeremy Burnham and their daughters Elena and Lauren. And Amy Chapman and her son Wyatt. Craig wasn't able to be here. Then I have also my sister Edith's family. If you guys would stand up, or Dan, just raise your hand. Come on, guys. And then my brother Dwayne, who has also passed away, his family's here. If you guys would stand up. And my brother John and his wife. Thank you. And last of all, my sister Lois. I guess she's not going to stand. I was really excited when they called about this award. Also, my foster father-in-law, Bill Morris, got it several years ago. So I get to join him and Edith on the wall at the extension office. I'd like to thank the sponsors of the award, and also Pomona Grange and Farm Bureau. If any of my 4-H families here, I'd like you to stand up too. Come on, guys. I've watched several kids exceed over the years in the 4-H program, and I think it's a very, very good program. I'd just like to thank everyone for being here. I noticed. It's a good thing. Chester, could you take this, please? This is our youngest granddaughter. This is Elena. She's Grammy's girl. They're all Grammy's kids. Can you wave? Got your queen wave? I had to bring her out. Oh, thank you.
When I first met Margaret, I was struck by her quiet, humble spirit and just true sense of community and love of 4-H and agriculture and just her commitment to her family. And so I had to bring up her newest grandchild and say thank you, Margaret, for all you've done, not only for the Grange and 4-H, but also this community and giving and being such a fine example to our families and a wonderful grandmother. Margaret's maybe retired, but she's still always at the 4-H events, and you can always see her coddling the kids, whether they're her own grandkids, her own children. Her spirit of love just fills the barns. And so I'm so proud on behalf of the Senate of Pennsylvania to present Margaret with this citation in saying thank you, God bless you, and thank you for having Paula carry on your strong tradition of being committed to 4-H. Thank you so much. God bless.
I think I forgot one thing. I think I forgot to introduce my husband, Milo. Everybody knows Milo, right?
Margaret, you should know by now, Milo doesn't need any introductions. Everyone knows Milo.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Representative Brad Roy. On behalf of the House of Representatives, we also have a citation. And one thing I want to point out, you may not have noticed it in your program, but if the program's correct, your farm is 11 acres. Now, sometimes people think of farms, you have to have 200 or 500 or 1,000 acres. There are a lot of farms in our area, all over Pennsylvania, that are relatively small in size, and that doesn't mean that it's not a farm, that it does not contribute to our economy. Small farms, medium farms, large farms, they're all part of our agriculture economy in Pennsylvania. So I just wanted to point that out. I think it's important that we recognize that families can be very involved with 4-H and agriculture from all different types and all different sizes of farms. But on behalf of the House of Representatives, Margaret, congratulations, and I'd like to present you this citation.
Thank you so much. I'd like to thank everyone for the award and thank you all for coming.
It is my absolute pleasure to introduce former Pennsylvania Secretary of Agriculture, Mr. George Gregg, for the award to present the Hall of Fame Award.
Thank you, Leanne. I'm pleased to be here today to welcome Scott Preston into the Crawford County Agricultural Hall of Fame. Come on up, Scott. Scott's sometimes a humble guy, but I've never seen him quiet. I've known Scott for approximately 30 years, but he has been part of the fabric of Crawford County agriculture for decades. He has strong family values and has raised 5 children on his 500-acre farm. For many years, Scott and I traveled to Washington, D.C. and Harrisburg to lobby for issues that are vital for all farmers and rural Pennsylvanians, like the elimination of inheritance tax for family farms and small businesses, and the launching of the PA Preferred program, which markets our Pennsylvania-grown products. Scott has also served locally on the board of Crawford County Ag Security Areas, which is the first step in farmland preservation. A 4th-generation farmer, Scott has found time to volunteer for many organizations noted in your program. And Scott continues today to help on his family farm, which has now been passed over to his son, Dale. We are glad to see that Scott is being recognized, joining the ranks of others who have contributed so much to Crawford County and Crawford County agriculture. So, there's so many things you could say about Scott Preston, but we just don't have time. But I guess we're going to give him a chance to tell us a few of them. So. Congratulations, Scott.
Thank you very much. Thank you, George. I've really been happy and glad to help Crawford County with all their many, many projects that we do. I started out and actually I was on the farm since I've been born. Worked 77 years there plus. And I just want to thank God that we had a wonderful Christian family. And we've a lot of my brothers and sisters are here today, and I want to thank all of them because they all worked right beside me all the years until they got their own jobs and businesses and whatever. And especially, I was the 4th generation, and my boy Dale, would you stand up, please? Him and his wife Laura. He's the 5th generation on our farm now. And we have Brother Don, Brother Jack, Sister Joy back here. You want to jump too? Because they've all helped on the farm. And yeah. I have a lot of true stories, I'll say. You want me to tell them? Yeah, but like I say, my dad and mother had 6 children, so we had lots of help on the farm. And then I had 5 with my wife Diane, who passed away in '99. And I always appreciated all my family. Would you stand, please? There's Dale and Chris and Stephen, whatever, Elaine. There's Elaine. She's coming with the little baby River. And so I thank you all for being here. It's a real pleasure to have you back me up once in a while. They all worked hard on the farm, and so I appreciate that. And I started out with the FFA projects, and back in the 50s, I showed cattle here at the fair. Was Crawford County Star Farmer in '59, and proud of that. And then eventually, I branched out a little bit. I got in the Lions Club to help the blind, and that was in '83. And then I joined the Soil Conservation Committee. I've been in Farm Bureau since '55 when they first chartered in our area under Pennsylvania Farmers Association, and I've been on the board since 1990. And it's been very happy to have been able to work with them. And land preservation is another big project we worked on through the county commissioners when my brother Jack was on county commissioners. And so we had everybody in the room practically helps everybody else that's up here, you know. And especially want to thank my wife Lila. She's a teacher, and I love all the teachers. My ag teacher McGee, and I married one. So with that to say, I don't know how much time we have, but it's been great. And Susan Taw especially, she worked real hard at the Extension office, and I want to thank them. And I was in the Grange for 47 years, so I knew a lot of people there, and I'll probably miss somebody, but thank you all anyway. I appreciate this award. Okay, gotta get away from that. Okay.
I think they have a citation.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
As Secretary Gregg had mentioned, Scott's known for a lot of things. One of the things he's probably not known for is being one of the quieter, more reserved Preston brothers. Is that true, Jack? And he always reaffirms that when I walk into a meeting or he comes down and visits us with the Farm Bureau at the Capitol and says, Michelle, what are you guys doing down here? Agriculture is Pennsylvania's #1 industry. What are you doing to support it and to help it? And I can hear that clear across the room and down the Capitol halls. And I truly appreciate that passion and commitment in an advocacy for Pennsylvania's #1 industry and all of our farmers. The other thing that just strikes me about Scott is just his faithfulness. His faithfulness in God, in church, community, and his love for his family. And I want to thank Scott for instilling the love of agriculture in his sons so that we have that farm continue as a generational farm. So thank you, Scott, for everything you do for agriculture. I'm so proud to present this citation from the Senate of Pennsylvania to you and to call you a friend, as well as Margaret and Todd. Congratulations to all of you, and God bless.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lee James. I may not be recognizable here as I come from Venango County, but as it so happens, Mr. Preston may be the only one in the room who physically is represented by actually 2 different reps from Western Pennsylvania. I understand your farm is in Kathy Rapp's district. Centerville, and he lives in Venango County, which is my district. I'd be preaching to the choir just a little bit, but I want to remind you, along with Senator Brooks's comments, that it's about 1 in every 7 jobs in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania that is either directly or indirectly related to agriculture. So on behalf of all my colleagues here today and the rest of the folks in the Commonwealth, we thank you for all that you do as well. And Mr. Hunter, go Navy. Me too. Congratulations, well deserved. I do have a citation here. Usually I'm accustomed to reading it, but I get the impression that maybe that's not welcome here. So I'll spare you that. But it says some really nice stuff about him. And I'll present it to him now, and thank you all very much for your attention. Picture. That's my wife down there getting up. Oh. Do you want to mention that to all those folks? Do you remember the name as well? Yeah, they probably know that.
He said I better mention that I'm a member of the Venango County as well as Crawford County. Well, that just happened to be the way the good Lord laid it for me, and I appreciate that. And like I said, I loved all the teachers that I had in school, and I've even married one. I gotta tell you one more thing. The two granddaughters over here, Cecile and Sydney Preston, they're Dale's and Laura's kids, and they're working with the Waddells who are sitting out here. They're the Queen mothers, is that right? Dairy promotion program. They do a lot of work on our farm, and they're just loving it, what they do. And Mike is someplace around here, little Mike. Oh, he's over here. Yeah, he's in Boy Scouts, and he works on a farm too. And they all feed calves and do things that I used to do a long time ago. Thank you.
Now could we please have all the past Hall of Fame recipients please stand. And I'd like to re-invite Susan Taw back up.
Thank you, Ellie and Leanne, and you did a fine job. And I apologize to the legislators. There was a time when I used to know what legislative district was where and who the representative was, but not anymore. It's confusing as all get out. So I apologize for omitting some of your names from the program. A special thank you to them for coming and presenting the citations to the recipients today. The Crawford County Dairy Maids, Laura Dangler for assisting with the refreshments back there. Usually the commodity queens do that, and since we have two young girls, we weren't expecting them to handle the refreshments, so Laura graciously agreed to assist with that. Conneaut Area FFA for passing out the programs, and from Jean Shanley from the Tribune, Heather Reichel taking the pictures and for the Tribune, and also for Jet. Kevin from Armstrong has always been here ever since we've started doing these programs at the fair, and I appreciate them. Congratulations to them on the Public Service Award, and especially to Mercer County State Bank for printing the programs for the Crawford County and the Crawford County Fair Board for the passes for the recipients. I'd also like to acknowledge the fact that we did have the Titusville Herald here today, and I didn't quite realize that until you were up taking pictures, and I turned around to Chris and I said, "Who is that?" So at this time, on one other clip, I have to tell a story about Joel. You can use that, or you should have had that blanket a long time ago when you tried to float down French Creek in the wintertime. Just keep that in mind, Joel. You can use that again if you ever try that trick again. Congratulations to Joel, too. I worked with Joel for a long, long time, and when I called it or talked to him about it, he said no. And I said, if you don't cooperate with me, I'll call your wife. So at this time, thank you all for coming. I hope you enjoyed the program, and please go back and enjoy some refreshments. Thank you.